Hello, my name is Karishma, and this is my second project for my visual culture class. This project will consist of me reading the essay I have written, and at the end of each body paragraph, I will edit in a clip of me demonstrating the point I am trying to make. The explanation for the video clips will be provided at the end of this paper. Thanks. Dziga Vertov was a Soviet filmmaker and director born in 1896. He is widely known for his film Man with a Movie Camera, filmed in 1929, and his Kino Eye theory. Vertov took a great interest in showing reality as it is. He did this by rejecting mainstream film ideals that emphasize a need for characters, acting, and a storyline. Vertov believed that pointing a camera at a subject wasn't enough to create realism in film, but that certain choices needed to be made when filming and editing in order to create insight. The Kino Eye theory was one of Vertov's most influential cinematic philosophies. It is the understanding that the lens of a camera is superior to the human perception, because it can capture reality much better than the human eye. Vertov also believed that human vision was limited and subjective. Therefore, he viewed the Kino Eye as a way to reveal more information because of its ability to see things from unique perspectives. In visual culture, film is shaped by the filmmaker's choices, making it a constructed version of reality. Therefore, holding the stance that film is not capable of showing reality as it truly is. This video project agrees that film is a construction and is not raw reality in a conventional sense. However, it is because of the Kino Eye that one gets closer to experiencing the deeper truth of reality that exists beyond one's perception and shows us what the human eye is not capable of showing. This essay will support Vertov's philosophy and argue that the Kino Eye is an extension of a human being's perception of reality, and that the Kino Eye allows us to experience forms of reality we cannot experience on our own, making the camera an essential tool to get closer to objectivity. This essay will also discuss semiotics through a visual culture perspective and explain how semiotics is used in Vertov's work to create social and cultural meaning. The human eye is fixed in perspective and not able to view reality from multiple directions. We cannot see micro details. The speed of reality stays the same. Life flows continuously without being broken up into fragments. According to Vertov, our eyes have many limitations, and that the Kino Eye helps us make up for things our eyes can't do. He references Adam metaphorically to emphasize the Kino Eye's ability to produce a more perfect vision. Vertov also discusses that human beings have invented things like the telescope and have elevated the quality of the camera to capture what otherwise would remain unseen. According to Object Photo, a digital research platform run by the Museum of Modern Art, Dziga Vertov revolutionized filmmaking through the Kino Eye in his film Man with a Movie Camera. He shows us the idea of the Kino Eye by merging an image of an eye over a camera lens to show the Kino Eye acts as an extension to human perception. Vertov's film featured many camera techniques. A few popular ones include jump cuts, which show us connections between things, Dutch angles that show the viewer unique perspectives that our eyes cannot, fast and slow motion, which is impossible to mimic with human vision, and extreme close-ups. According to Stephen Jacobs, the film Man with a Movie Camera uses freeze frames, jump cuts, double and triple exposure, animation, and so on. It also highlights the film's use of realism, showing the everyday life of Soviet people. All in all, the film's use of realism captured a lot of attention and revolutionized cinema. So here are a few examples of what the Kino eye can do that the human eye cannot. As mentioned in the beginning of this essay, visual culture studies does not regard film as a true reality due to the choices the filmmaker makes with the camera. Yan Jiang references John Grierson's idea that a documentary is a creative treatment of actuality rather than reality itself. And it is because of the filmmaker's choices that creates the effect of what's real. Therefore, cinema is always premeditated and biased. However, the filmmaker's choices, for instance, to use Dutch angles, jump cuts, or macro shots, are what shows the viewer an extended version of reality in the first place. These choices literally activate the Kino eye so we could see a deeper truth. The selections the filmmaker makes does not make the film false, rather it shows the viewer a more elevated vision. For example, it is scientifically noted that whales see their reality with monochromatic vision, therefore use contrast to make sense of their surroundings. Thus, if a human being makes a cinematic choice to film from a whale's point of view underwater and then edits the footage to black and white and increases the contrast, that would give us an extension of reality from a different viewpoint. This proves that reality is not fixed to a single point of view and that realism exists beyond one's perception. This confirms the need and the value of the Kino eye to understand the world in a more complete and real sense. So my essay referenced whales, but this clip is going to give an example by simulating my dog's perspective. So dogs view the world with lower vision quality, and they also experience their vision with a wider field of view than humans do. So this is going to demonstrate that reality is not fixed and that the choice of using the Kino eye extends our perspective. The film Man with a Movie Camera uses the Kino eye and a multitude of cinematic techniques as discussed. But the film also uses and contains semiotics. Semiotics is the study of how images, sounds, and symbols create cultural and social meaning. Vertov's film tells a story even though the film had no inherent storyline to begin with. The study of semiotics takes the stance that the viewer creates their own meaning based on signs and symbols in relation to their cultural context. A popular scene from Man with a Movie Camera includes a shot of the eye being superimposed over an image of a camera lens. When analyzing this scene through a semiotic lens, it becomes clear that even though Vertov was not trying to tell a story, the viewer naturally generates a meaning. The signifier in this scene would be the visual of the eye and the camera. The signified would be what the visual communicates, which is a new way of seeing the world. The icon would be the eye and the camera. The index shows that the scene points to human vision and the mechanical camera vision. The scene symbolizes modernity and technological advancement. The scene denotes an eye over a camera and connotes a merge between human and mechanical vision. Meaning in use can also be relevant depending on where an individual views this scene and in what context. Despite the Kino eye showing an extended version of reality, the viewers still need to rely on representation to comprehend and make meaning of his work. So this clip was not intended to tell a story, but as you can see, meaning is still generated by the viewer, much like Dziga Vertov's Man with a Movie Camera. Also, to connect it to the semiotics part, even though I filmed the same subject, it produces very different meanings. So the first shot reads as Hinduism and prayer. The second shot reads as a surveillance clip, feels a lot more controlled. Some viewers could view it as disrespectful, depending on the cultural context. And the third one, where I've used the overlay, this one possibly could be read as God is watching you, or the divine is looking over you, or some kind of dual meaning. Again, depends on cultural context, but it shows the meaning isn't fixed. And also, just a side note, I am of Indian descent and I do follow the Hindu faith too. So, to conclude, this video project shows that Vertov's Kino Eye extends human vision beyond biological limits. The Kino Eye is able to do this through the cinematic techniques mentioned in this essay. It is true that film is shaped by the filmmaker's choices, but this does not make the film false. Despite Vertov's aim of not including a storyline in this film, a meaning is still made by the viewer through signs, symbols, and connotation. The Kino Eye is a very valuable tool for seeing and understanding the world in a more wholesome way. Vertov's Kino Eye invention has set the stage for many other modern technologies like AI and virtual reality, which proves Dziga Vertov was not just a filmmaker, he was a visionary and an innovative thinker who was far ahead of his time.